What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Johnny and KP show. How's everyone doing? Please let me know how the chat sounds and everything, because I'm using my other headset tonight. Johnny G, you are wild, man. I wish you were here to be part of the show, so we could be wild together. But what are you doing? You're on patrol. Johnny's a moderator too, man. I made everyone moderators. Johnny's a moderator, you're a moderator, I'm a moderator, Jimmy, Jess, and Amanda are moderators, I'm pretty sure. So hopefully they can keep tabs, during the podcast, so we don't have to go delete those silly messages that we keep getting. Do you know what I mean? Oh, 1 second, guys. All right, so how's everyone doing? Who we got in the chat? We got Dobbs is in the chat. Dobbs, how you doing? Johnny, obviously, how are ya? Big man, how you doing? So I'm good. There's a screw. Yeah, you're a moderator, man, so you can remove people if they're bad. Ban them and stuff. And it's actually a spanner. Shows your handy work there, man. Spanner, screwdriver. All right, let's get into it. So, is the volume and everything good, guys? Please let me know. Is the sound good? Hopefully it is, because I'm using my other headset, which I do like. It's very, very good. And Rob comes up there with beautiful comment as well. It's a spanner. All right. All right, guys. So, how you going, Rob, as well? Say hello before we get into it. So, a few things we got to get into. So, Manchester United. I don't want to talk about this for long, this actual uh, topic, but I want to talk about it from the football point of view. Thanks, Jess, for saying that. That sounds good. I just want to talk about it from the football point of view. So, Mason Greenwood has been suspended indefinitely by Man United, as he's been, I don't know how they're saying it, arrested and in allegations of assault, whatever. But like I said, I'm not going to talk about the actual uh, event. If he's guilty of what he's done, I hope they throw the book at him. It doesn't matter that he's a, Man United player, whatever. Is professional, gives him no right, gives no human a right to act of the allegations that he's had uh, put against him. So if he's guilty, I hope, yeah, disgrace. Absolutely. I hope they throw the book at him. But from a football point of view, we go to it. So now United are without Greenwood, obviously. Martial, have let go to Sevilla. Cavani is in and out with injury. So they're left with, let's say, Ronaldo, Elanga, Rashford, Sancho, Cavani. When you're playing three up top, it's, you're playing three up top. There you go, moderators. Someone can practice right now. Please remove that. There's all of you there. Big man or Johnny, you can remove that for me, or Jess. But yeah, back to it. So yeah, they're left with five up top, let's say, because Lingard, we presume, is going to go. I think if all of this had come to light, a couple days ago, I don't think Man United would have let Anthony Martial go. It's thank you very much for whoever deleted that. Yeah, I don't think they would have let Martial go. Compress hide user on this as well. Whoever, I'll do it here. Hide user, so I've hidden them. Yeah, I don't think that United would have let Martial go now that they're just going to be stuck with no players. I mean, what if Elanga goes down tomorrow? What if Rashford gets an injury? Like Sancho hasn't been having the, he's still in his bedding in period, hasn't had the best of times so far at United. So you know, just watching end of ESPN FC. All good, Rob. All good, man. What are those? What are they actually talking about tonight? What are they talking about? So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think, Johnny? I don't know if are you still there or have you gone on patrol? We spoke about it a bit earlier. Will United buy anyone? I don't think they will. I don't think they'll buy anyone. So does everyone still think should they still let Lingard go, considering they haven't um they don't have so many players to play up top. We were all dying saying we should have be getting midfielders, all the United fans, but now it looks like we need a midfielders, we need attackers, we even need defenders. Eric Bailly apparently wants to leave. So we got Maguire, who's in my opinion not up to it. Lindelof, Varane, Phil Jones for centre back, and Jones is, like I said, only played one game, 2 games in 2 years. So you've pretty much got Maguire, Varane, Lindelof. Yeah, Donny going to Everton. We're going to talk about that, Rob. And Alias, I said that to Johnny G today. Yeah, he's either going down the Adam Johnson path or a bit of a Ravel Morrison path. Listen, I hope it comes out he's innocent, and I hope that's true that he's innocent. It's not just that he's a professional footballer that gets him away with it. I hope it comes out that he's innocent. The kid had the world at his feet. Like they're tipping him to break Wayne Rooney's records. You know what I mean? When you're getting tipped uh, for things like that, at 20, already to be pretty much, and it's much deeper than that. I'm not even gonna say it. To be throwing not just your career away, but he's throwing his life away. If these allegations are true. So yeah, let's hope it comes out that he's innocent and because even if let's say he's found guilty, United end his contract. What club's going to take him after this? Who's going to want a player like that with those convictions against him in their playing squad? I mean, I wouldn't as a manager. So, you know, it's very crazy times ahead for him. Alias says United lack football director, shows our poor squad manager. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah. Yeah, Rob, I actually said that to John today. So Rob has said, told you Greenwood is not right in the head, not calling him guilty, but they have to avoid these situations. And that's what I've said. Obviously you're innocent till proven guilty. Like I said, if he's found guilty of it, I hope they throw the book at him. But yeah, Rob actually said last Rob said last week in the chat here, um, he's got a bad attitude on the pitch and off the pitch. And listen, I don't know if Rob had heard things that he, had been doing off the pitch, but he did say that in the comments. This was on last week's show, and look at it. He does have a bit of a bad attitude on the pitch, and like Rob said, off the pitch too. Ghost Judy says his career is over, mate. Listen, I, uh, I hope not for his sake. Just not. I don't even care about his career. I just hope he's innocent because a person shouldn't be doing that to another human being. Like I said, if he's guilty, they should throw the book at him. I don't care. He's a Man United player. Like I bleed Man United. So Alice says Greenwood, if guilty, United should get rid of him. We shouldn't get involved. Listen, if he's guilty, his contract will get terminated, just like Mendy's. I think Rob, can you comment on that? What happened with Mendy at City and his contract got terminated? Didn't it? That's what will happen. Ghost says there's too much evidence for everyone to see. Yeah, like I said, listen, guys, I don't want to talk too much about that because um, it's an allegation thing. I'm here to talk about the football. That's what I care about, which is my football club. And um, I'm just interested to see. I don't know, Ghost Studio. You're a Man United fan, Alias. Do you think Man United will go in to buy someone now, considering that we are lacking? We've let um, Anthony Martial go. Lingard, doesn't he's gonna go. He doesn't get a game anyway. Mata is not up to it anymore. Like what's going on? I don't know. Rob just said a ghost duty, maybe not. Rob says ghost duty, maybe not. Suarez keeps on biting. That was three, yeah, three times. That's true. He did it at Ajax, once with Uruguay, and I'm not sure if it was with Liverpool or Barcelona, but he, yeah, has done it three times. Funny, if he did that on the street, he would went to jail, wouldn't he? But he did it on the soccer field, and I think he's back in training. Rob said, "What's Pogba doing?" They're tipping him either to start this FA Cup game, which is this week, Middlesbrough, or the next fixture, which I think is Burnley away. So yeah, he's back in training. So, and I actually think it's going to be that's what's actually going to help us. I think they're going to play Pogba up, maybe in the third on the left hand side of the three behind the striker, and I actually think it's really going to help United because it will give us some added depth there because you can see Rangnick doesn't want to change the midfield. He's let Donny go. So we're playing McTominay and Fred, aren't we? He's shown his cards. So Alias says Greenwood has this attitude before too. This is not the first time. If he has done it the girl was taking too much abuse before she thought this was enough. The bruises were not new. Yeah, there you go. Alias says Pogba needs to go too. I agree he probably does need to go, but I think we can use him till the end of the year. Listen, get fourth spot and get fourth spot and then say, listen, okay, okay, Paul, thank you for these 5 years. We've got fourth spot and we'll let you go get your big contract because that's what he's going to do. Ghost Judy says, I want him to be innocent, mate, but this 2022 woke generation, mate, me too, and everything will haunt him forever. Listen, I'm not, if he's done that, like I said, he deserves to have the book thrown at him. So, Fortini Christopoulos, hey Cappy, how you going, Fortini? Cryptopolis, how are you? Rob Cryptopolis in the house. Rob says, isn't Aussie international Irvine just signed for Middlesbrough? First match, yeah, this Friday it is, Rob, yeah, so be interesting to see that. But yeah, back on what Alias was saying, I agree Pogba needs to go, but yeah, I think he can really help us till the end of the year. I don't know what Ghost Judy thinks on that, what Johnny G thinks on that. Too much people to move from the current squad. Yeah, totally, totally, Ghost. I think we went from considering we had a rebuild a year ago. Now we need a major rebuild. Like in my opinion, there's still some people that don't believe in him, but I believe De Gea is one of the best keepers in the world. He deserves to stay. I think we've got to get rid of either. One moment, guys. Sorry. I think we've either got to get rid of either Wan-Bissaka or Delo. So keep one of them and buy a first team right fullback. Varane is fine. I think we need another centre back to partner Varane. Shaw and Tellez I actually think okay at the moment, but you got to pick who's your strongest and let them fight it out. So that's okay. I think we need two midfielders. I don't think McTominay or Fred are first teamers. Pogba is not going to stay, so we need a huge rebuild in the midfield. Bruno Fernandes is okay. He plays number 10 or 8, however you look at it. Sancho's okay. He's new. Rashford's okay. Ronaldo's 36. He's 37 in a couple days, I think. So what's he got? Another year? I don't know. I shouldn't say that, his age. But yeah, and Cavani's going to be gone at the end of the year, so we need a major rebuild. It's absolutely crazy. Rob says 22-23 will be wide with the World Cup in between, so lock in fourth spot this season. Agree? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Rob. Just say to Paul, listen, you go at the end of the year, mate. Go get your contract, but help us get this fourth position, mate. Play. Give us, be honest with him. Say you haven't really given us much in 5 years. Give us the best 6 months of your career right now, and then go get your big contract with Madrid, PSG, whatever you got to do. Be honest with him. Be open. Challenge him. Say, listen, you're fighting for a contract from other clubs too. Show them what you're all about. Alias says United shouldn't go down on his feet to get him to stay. His mockery, his attitude, his lack of form is enough. We can get new players who will bleed United. Sir Alex must have seen this. But listen, I pretty much what I just said. But I don't think the problem Sir Alex had with Pogba was actually Paul. I think it was I think it was with Raiola. He said that. I've read the Ferguson's book, and he said he called him a parasite. So you know what more can I say? Ghost Judy has said we need one centre back, two fullbacks, two midfielders, and one forwarder. Pretty much that's pretty much what I think I said. Ghost Judy, I'm glad we agree on that. Yeah. Alias says Pogba, Mata, Matic, Harry. They need to go. I agree with that as well, Alias. I do agree with that. Rob says agree. Two midfielders demanding the ball all the game. Yep. See, so I think we're all on the same page. I mean, and Rob's not even a United fan, so John says Pogba to corrected himself. Pogba the virus. Alias says Ibrahim Sangare, Nusa Mazrui, Ryan Aitnuri, Lafont, Florian Wirtz need to come in. There you go. Some off the cuff names there. I know what Rob. What do you think of those names? Is put out some good off the like I said off the cuff names there. Yeah, but yeah, I think as a player, Rangnick, whoever it is, challenge Paul Pogba, and just say to him, give us the best 6 months you've played. Like get us fourth and go get that contract, man. We condone your move. We don't, do what you got to do. And yeah, Ghost Judy says Maguire needs to be replaced. Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw, Fred, Matic, Mata, Pogba, Cavani. Now Green will win another 9. Yeah, listen, I agree. I think, to be honest, I think Shaw and Tellez. I think we need to work on other areas first. Shaw and Tellez can do the job, but yeah, I agree. Maguire needs going. I think Wan-Bissaka or Delo need selling, and we need a first team right fullback, like I said. Yeah, Fred, McTominay, they're both not good enough in my opinion. I always say I don't know what the hype with McTominay is, and he's a United graduate, but he's just not good enough. Alias says Sewell is for free. We can get rid of Deadwood. Harry Potter, Eric Jones need to leave. Yeah, Harry Potter, I like that one. Yeah, I've seen Sewell has said he's leaving Bayern at the end of the year on a free, isn't he? Nicholas Sewell. Don't know what he'd be like in England. Listen, I don't know. Maybe I'll say Rob again can few people that know the Bundesliga a bit better. He's a bit like Maguire, to be honest. So he's very slow and clunky, And we've already shown with Maguire it's not working. We want to try play high, and it's not working with that type of player. So yeah, Ghost Judy says, "Damn, we are so behind from Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool. Another disappointment." Oh, there's many. We're so far behind them. We're so far behind them. Hello, he's doing real well at Ajax, isn't he, Rob? He was at West Ham and struggled under David Moyes' let's say game plan, but he went to Ajax and is ripping of it. Obviously it's not as strong a league, but you got to start somewhere, don't you? And if you are scoring goals in one league, you can score them somewhere else. That's what I say. It's just got to get the ball. The problem is, I don't think it's the actual strikes. Even with United, Ronaldo scored 14 goals. Half of them he created himself. Um, you know what I mean? Like, get the ball to Ronaldo. He's going to put it in the net. Same with Cavani. Like, I don't get it. So, Alias says, here's a hard man, 195 height, very fast. John says, I want Isaac. Is that the Swede? John, he's pretty good. I like him. Isaac he's is he an out and out forward? He's a bit more of a like an inside forward winger sort of thing, and he's a good player though. He's very good. I like him as well. I agree. But I think that yeah, see, Rob's. I think they're the players we need to more or less go for. Stop going for these. The problem I see with United is the thing we always do. It's like we're always signing someone as a savior. Oh, get Ronaldo in, we're gonna challenge. Oh, get Sancho in, it's gonna fix the right wing problems, we're gonna challenge. Oh, get Maguire in, it's gonna fix our centre back problem, we're gonna be so good, we're gonna challenge. Stop signing these players as saviors. We are Man United. Like we are Manchester United. I don't know how like I don't know how much easier to put it. It's like if I was director of football, it's like we are Man United. Don't, go find some up and coming players and get a couple of these world class players too, but not not people that don't want to be there, like Angel Di Maria, players like that. He didn't want to be there. Why get him? You know what I mean? Like Varane wanted to come to United. He turned down Madrid and said, "I want to go to United." So he wants to be there. He turned down bigger money at PSG and that, he wanted to come. He said, I want that challenge of Manchester United came. There you go. You know what I mean? And that's what we want. So, you know, I don't know what these directors of football are doing. It's crazy. Ghost Judy says, until all these players are cleared, we're not going to improve how much we dump money on the squad because the core is very bad. Totally agree, and I think that's sort of what I was saying. Yeah, totally agree with that, Ghost Judy. Alias says, Hala is not meant for EPL. He has failed here before. Hey, Salah failed in the EPL with Chelsea, Alias, and look at him now. That's, you know, that happens. It happens. And Amanda says, hi, Cappy. How you going, Amanda? Hey, how are you? Rob says, Alias is a question of service. Tadic with a sixth sense and is killing from the midfield role. Yeah, so um, listen, it's just like that's exactly what I just said about Ronaldo. Like Ronaldo's not going to score 40 goals for West Ham, is he? But you got to get the ball to him. It's just listen, I believe in second chances for players, and like I said, Salah failed miserably with Chelsea. Came back. Kevin De Bruyne. I think, is this correct, Rob? He failed with Chelsea too, Kevin De Bruyne, and arguably the best player in the Premier League. Them too, considered the two top players in the Premier League at the moment. So, and they both failed. Okay, they couldn't get into a squad that arguably that did one, two back-to-back titles. I think they were with Mourinho, or the second. I can't remember, but they were with Mourinho, who won titles. But they both struggled and have come back, both crazy players. So Alice says, United need to stop signing big names. We have failed all the time. We need young names who are hungry to perform. Di Maria, Sanchez, Lukaku, Pogba, Harry all have failed. But Harry Maguire wasn't a big name. He just had a big tag on him. I agree with the other ones. Lukaku even wasn't a big name. I mean, he came, when you actually think about it, Lukaku came to us from Everton. So he was what we're all saying. Get this up and coming striker from another team, like Wayne Rooney came from Everton. Get this up and coming striker from a lower club and turn him into an elite striker. But people say he failed with us, but Lukaku didn't actually fail. He scored goals, just struggled with Mourinho again and went to Inter and Blitz, came back to Chelsea and is really not doing that good with Tuchel, who all these people are, fawning over that he's the best coach in the world, which I disagree with, but um, he's struggling. But yeah, Di Maria, Sanchez, even Pogba, he was coming back to us, from Juventus. He was a junior at our club, like it seemed right, but he's just hasn't worked out for him. But definitely Di Maria, Sanchez. We got them for all the wrong reasons. I totally agree with that. Did they actually sign him, Rob? So Rob says, Alias, you're spot on. Yes, City just signed Julian Alvarez from South America. De Bruyne dumped budget. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I've heard a lot about this Alvarez, and I tell you what, if they can get him, because to play that number nine role, they're not going to go spend 100 million on Kane or something next year, are they? Are they, Rob? I tell you, that's. I've heard a lot about him. I haven't seen much of him, but I've heard real good things about him. So tell you what, that's another nail in United's coffin, isn't it? They're crosstown rivals signing teenagers from South America that are meant to be stars. So, excuse me. But yeah, just it shows where we're at. Shows where United are at. But the next topic we can get onto, guys, is what does everyone think about finally? And like I said, Alvarez, 22 years old. There you go. Thanks, Rob. Um, I wanted this, what the next topic I'm going to talk about, I wanted this to happen so bad, and it was Donny van de Beek going on loan. I mean, I think it's the best thing that's happened. I hope he goes in. I hope he turns it up, and really plays well and just even shows Ranić, shows Solskjaer, like, what were you doing? Why were you playing McTominay, Fred, ahead of this kid that was a Dutch international at 20, playing in Champions League semi-finals a couple years ago? You know what I mean? Like, I really hope he I really hope he does well, Donny. I don't know what everyone else thinks about that, but I'm so glad he's got the loan move and he's gone to someone that's not competing with us. Let's uh let's see how it goes. Rob says Alvarez staying in Argentina until next season, then comes across. Yeah, that's good. Alice says Salah played 13 games for Chelsea. Kevin played 3 games. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Alice, but what I'm saying is they, they Mourinho didn't think they were good enough, did he? That's why they only played those little amount of games. He ultimately didn't think they were better than what he had, and maybe they weren't at the time. Maybe they were a bit young, but they both went somewhere else, plied their trade. Kevin De Bruyne at Werder Bremen went and ripped it. Salah went and blitzed at Roma, and they've both come back to the Premier League, and you know, like I said, they're arguably two best players in the league at the moment. So it's a matter of timing, a matter of location, sort of the team you're at. Salah and De Bruyne, maybe their games didn't suit Mourinho. Who knows? Maybe they were a bit young for it. I don't know. Salah's game probably really suits Klopp's high intensity um, pressing. Rob says Alias shows Chelsea owner impatient. Yeah, well he is, isn't he? Like Abramovich is impatient. But the one thing you can say about Chelsea's owners and City's owners is they want to win football matches. They want to win trophies. I can't say that about Man United's owners. I can't say that about Arsenal's owners. Probably can't even say that about Liverpool's owners at the moment because Liverpool have got I think the second oldest team in the league, and they're not investing in it. Soon, that's all going to come to a head, isn't it? They're not investing. They're not, you know. So Chelsea and City, at least their owners want to win trophies, and I, commend them for that, which is least I can say about our owners. But yeah, like I said, I don't know what everyone thinks about the Van de Beek situation, but yeah, I'm so happy he's gone there. I hope he really does well. You know, I hope there's, and then I hope he really does well, and then they're like, oh, come back to us, and he turns around to United and says, no, I don't want to come back. I put a transfer request in. I don't want to come back because of the way you have treated me. So I really hope it goes well for him. Alias says United should make a core squad with good, disciplined players, and we should buy good youth players for our bench who can learn and grow. Alex did that too. Yeah, I agree, Alice. I don't even think they need to buy young youth, but Manchester United have a great youth setup. There's some young players. James Garner, centre midfielder. Ethan Laird is a fullback. Apparently, everyone's raving about him. Elanga's obviously in there. Rashford's in the first team. These guys are all our youth. They got Tendai Mengi. He's been playing in the AFCON, I think. Hasn't he, Rob Mengi? You know, they got youth there. Use them. Use them. And then buy these experienced core players, like it's like the class of 92. We had Giggs, Beckham, but Neville, these Scholes, everyone thinks they were just there, but they had these experienced players with them. You know, Brian Robson was still there, Steve Bruce, Pallister, Roy Keane came in. These are guys that are like some of the best captains. Brian Robson, Bruce, Keane, not just three of the best captains in United's history, but three of the best captains in the history of football. They're great captains. Robson's nickname is Captain Marvel, and Bruce, Keane, renowned as just great captains, and these kids had them to nurture them. And at the moment they've got Ronaldo there. He's a captain of his national team. He's one of the best players of all time. Everyone says. Use that experience now. It shouldn't be so much about what Ronaldo can do on the pitch for you, but what he can do in the change room. He's can teach them so much, and then I just don't think they're utilizing it. But Alias says he made it hard for youth to get in the first team until they were disciplined enough. Roy Keane one made Ronaldo cried from drinking cola. Yeah, till now he respects that and still he avoids sweet drinks. This is what I mean, not it doesn't have to be like that, but just show them the way. You know what I mean? And I actually heard the story, and I heard Ronaldo talking about it, and everyone always says it's Roy Keane, but I actually think he said it was Ryan Giggs. Said to him, "What are you doing drinking that?" He goes, if you want to make it somewhere, you'll put it down. He put it down. But, I'm not sure. Rob says, AFCON showing some great young players all over the park. No brainer. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Rob. So, you got these players, use them. And, it's not just like Ailey's saying, don't just hand them these debuts. Make them earn it. When they make a first team debut for Man United, it means something. Not, like I know we talked about him, read about Greenwood, has been playing every week. It's like he thinks I'm here, I'm done, I've made it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. I thought Radnick would be a bit harder. I don't know, but then again, he's an interim. It's very hard as an interim manager. Alias says for Diaz, I wouldn't put a gun on my head. He just had one good season. They've failed to perform in UCL for 40 million. I think Bruno was bargained for us there were Florian, if this were Florian Wirtz. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I think Bruno was a good signing. In this day and age, 40 million I think is real good from what he's given us. He's already been better for us than Paul Pogba has. And Diaz, yeah, wait and see what he does. I mean, is he even going to be a starter for Liverpool? I don't know. I don't. Um, excuse me. Yeah, I'm not sure. Do you think he'll be a starter for Liverpool, Alias and Rob? And not sure if the rest of the boys are there. What was it? Ghost Judy, if you're still there in the chat. I'm not sure if you think he'll be a starter for Liverpool or not, but yeah, I don't really know. It'll be interesting. Interesting. One moment, guys. Just reading this. All right. Yeah, so I mean, we're sort of in it right now. It's coming to the last hours of the transfer window. Obviously, England's a bit of a different time zone. So does anyone think will there be any late movements for United in particular, and let's say for the Premier League as a whole? Rob, I don't know, do you think there's going to be any late movers? I'm not, I don't think United are going to do any business, to be honest, besides letting people go. If this were Florian Wirtz, I'd be worried, but Diaz now. Okay, there you go. Is Diaz not meant to start, but old forward line now, so he's primed. Good timing. Well, that's what I was saying, Rob. They got the oldest, second oldest team. I think only Burnley's team is older than Liverpool. So, if they don't start investing, I mean, there's only so much Klopp can do. If they don't, where City are buying players, if they're not, they're already behind them, aren't they? Like the table doesn't lie. City are champions and they're 9 points behind them as well. So they're already playing catch up to them, aren't they? So, it's interesting times ahead, but it's interesting. Oh, is he coming directly across Rob Diaz, or is he staying with Porto to the end of the year? Is he coming now? The other one that I thought was interesting was I didn't want him to come to the Premier League. Didn't want him to come to one of my rivals. Was Vlahovic from Fiorentina to Juventus. So he's gone across to Juventus, and I mean he's been getting hate mail from the Fiorentina people and that, like you do, I guess. But I mean he's a goal scorer. I did not want him to go to City or uh, or Liverpool or Chelsea. Chelsea weren't going to buy a striker because they just bought Lukaku, but didn't want him to go to one of my rivals. Went to Juventus, and I mean, I think they'll probably make top four now, Juventus. But yeah, good signing by them, I think. Alias says Diaz can learn from Salah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, why don't we have that? Why isn't Sancho learning from Ronaldo, etc.? You know what I mean? Why have Rashford and Sancho and that not learning? Just I've heard there's been a lot of talk about Dembele, Rob, because I think is his contract up at the end of the year. It's just He's very injury prone, but he's talented. I'll give him that. He's a very quality young player, talented player. Just injuries have not helped him. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think we're gonna be letting players go, Rob. That's what I'm saying. Henderson wants to go. He wanted to take on. I remember saying this 18 months ago. He said he came out in an interview and pretty much said he said I think I'm a better goalkeeper than David De Gea, and I want to take him on. And I remember when I heard that comment, I said, listen, it's okay to, you have to back yourself as a player. I get that. But a 22-year-old that's played one season of first team football, you're sitting there saying, I'm better than De Gea. Like, I remember saying it back then. He's in for a rough ride because if De Gea finds his form, he's a 10 times better keeper than him. So yeah, there you go. Alias says it's a good thing that United avoid January, but I don't think so. We would get good players for good price. United should avoid panic buy and wait for summer to finalise their manager and him and yeah, that is a good point. But I just thought they'd bring someone in to shore up the midfield, bit like that. Rob says AC Milan offering Dele Alli dollars. There you go. Wouldn't have seen that one coming. Dele Alli. Don't know how he fits in at Milan. I mean, they got they got Kessie in the midfield. Yeah, that's be an interesting one. That's interesting. Don't know. Don't know about that. See how he goes. It's amazing now they're saying, the difference. They said, I think Roma the other day had three English players in their starting lineup, was the most that any Italian team has ever had in their starting lineup, I think, in the Serie A. So seems like a lot more players are going over there. I think Tomori's at AC Milan from Chelsea. Now they're talking Dele Alli, Smalling, Tammy Abraham. Trying to think who was the other one. I don't know who the third one was at Rome, but yeah, at least it's not a time where the Serie A was just Italian, South American, and that's it. It's getting some players that are thinking, I can't make it in England. I'm going to go ply my trade there. You know what I mean? It's good. I like it. It's good. Back yourself as a player. I think it's a good thing to do. I think it's a smart thing to do. Back yourself and go. The Dembele one will be interesting, Rob. The Dembele one will be very interesting. See, I mean, if you know how to go in late for him, listen, he's injury prone in that, like I said, but I'll back him. I want him to go hit the ground running and do well. He's, like I said, real talented player. I'm surprised about the AC Milan Dele Alli offer, like you're saying. Didn't see that happening. He's been off the boil since he's lost Pochettino as a manager, Dele Alli, but see how he goes. Didn't do well for Mourinho. He's not doing well for Conte. Mm. Yeah, that's the one. That's true, Rob. Firing for and the thing was, he didn't do bad for Chelsea either when Frank Lampard was manager. He could be a bit, but I think he could have been a bit part player. Like he could have been a squad player. Didn't have to start every game, but he definitely is a good enough squad player. But yeah, Mourinho's utilizing him, using him. So he's showing that you can get these players doing well. Smalling, rejected by United pretty much. I know he played a lot for us, but he's playing there, isn't he? And, we'd probably kill to have Chris Smalling there. He's probably better than Maguire, better than Lindelof. You know, what do you say about that? Makes just makes us look silly, doesn't it? All these names, you're making it hard for me, Alias, to pronounce, aren't you? Doing it on purpose. I think you said a few of these before. So Chouameni, Guri, Sangare, Mazraoui, Ait Nuri, Lafont, Lorenzo Pellegrini, good player, yes. Sul, Vert should come in the summer. It'll never happen. Not, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine players will never come in. It just won't happen. United, even if they got rid of 15, they wouldn't do it. That's just them. They'll go buy three, four tops, and three of them will be huge signings. And the owners will be like, look, here we go. There you go, guys. Here's these huge signings. Yeah, I was talking about that with John today, Rob. So apparently he came out and he said it straight out. He goes, "Listen, I rejected the interview." He said, "Because I've got unfinished business here. They're second from bottom now when they've had a 21 point deduction." And I'll tell you what, I've said it. If he gets them out of that, it's not just the 21 point deduction. They only had 14 first team players when the season started. And he went and signed Ravel Morrison for free as a free agent, on a game to game contract. If he gets them out of that, he's showing something as a manager. That's all I got to say. Even what he's done, he's not on the bottom right now. He's showing something as a manager. I think it's good signs. Wayne Rooney is going to be a good manager. That's what I got to say. And I mean, he gets them out of that. The guy deserves a statue. That's crazy. Like 21 point deduction, starting the season with 14 players, Rob. In the championship, which how many games did they play? They played like so many games. Like that's ridiculous. And still dealing with his club selling players because they need money. Like he's just showing. I think that he's gonna be a really good manager. Like it's a fairy tale. They get out of that. That is one of the biggest fairy tales in football. And the thing is, people won't. They won't even talk about. They won't even hear about it. Because it's not Leicester winning the title. Let's say it's Derby getting out of relegation of the championship. That it won't be talked about enough of how big of a deal that is if he pulls that off. So, and you know what? I really think he's got a good chance of doing it. So it'll be great. Alia says if Ralph goes, Eric Ten Hag, Julian Lopetegui, Ruben Amorim should come. Yeah, I like Ten Hag. I actually don't like Lopetegui, Alias, but I do agree with the Ten Hag. I think it should be Ten Hag or Pochettino. That's me personally, but listen, I'll back any manager that comes. That's how I am, and uh, it's that's why football's the world game, isn't it? It's a game of opinions. It's everyone has so many different opinions about so many different things. It's like I just want them to pick the right manager this time, and back him. I don't care if it's like you've said, Ten Hag, Lopetegui, Amorim, Pochettino. I mean, whoever. I don't care who it is. Please back him and back him financially, everything. Back him, and we'll see where that goes. Don't bring in Mourinho and then when he gets you second and wins the Super Cup, don't buy him anyone. And you look at it. Mourinho wanted to sell Martial. He's gone now. Maybe Mourinho was right. Maybe he wasn't good enough. Mourinho wanted a centre back then. They didn't give him one. He like it's so funny when you think about it. Just please back the manager. That's all I want to see. Our board back the manager. Rob says agreed. Huge test for Rooney so far. It seems he knows how to assess players and get the best out of them. Another product, yeah, definitely a product of Sir Alex. And I think he spoke about that. He was on Rio Ferdinand's channel. He said that. He goes, he goes, if you didn't sit there with Sir Alex, and obviously he was your manager, but if you didn't listen and take it in and learn, you know, what were you doing? You know, yeah, like Barca and Spain learned from Cruyff. It's amazing that more people, that were under Sir Alex didn't follow his philosophies, Rob. Like it's so weird. You see Mark Hughes, he plays nothing like Fergie did. Bruce plays nothing like Fergie did. I mean, Quires, he was his assistant. He didn't really get a go with Madrid, but he does play that way. It's just, it's crazy when you think about it. You think they played under this. Why don't they have those philosophies? Then again, it's maybe the jobs they got. With lower teams, they think they got to play more pragmatic, more defensive. I don't know, but Rooney's gone for it, and yeah, he really knows to. I mean, the players are playing for him, aren't they? And the way I see it is, a lot of them too at Derby, they're going to be. I mean, arguably Rooney's their idol. Is that fair to say, Rob? Arguably he's their idol. Like these young English guys, that's the way I see it. So it's interesting times for him ahead. I tell you what, if he, it's crazy saying if he gets him out of it, it's mad. One moment. But yeah, so what else? What else is there to talk about? We've talked about we've talked about free Donny. We've talked about the Mason Greenwood thing. We've talked about if we think we're going to bring anything in. What else? Rob says you still have to have a coaching brain. It seems Rooney has. Yeah, true. Very true. Very true. What else? Do we think? Does anyone think Lingard will go? I actually, listen. I hope he goes because he's going for free at the end of the year anyway, and he doesn't play for us. And Rob has said there's some interest in Dembele. Do we see that happening? Do we see any other transfers for any other teams happening? Is anyone else going to do business? Are Everton going to do some like? I mean, Everton are. They've put a new manager in charge. Um, they got billionaire owners. Are they going to do anything? Are Newcastle going to do anything else? Newcastle they want to survive. They don't want to go down. They're the richest club in the world now, aren't they? Like they don't. They are they gonna? Is there going to be movement? Do we think it's going to be a crazy? Um, how do I say it? Last few hours of the transfer window, let's say. Yeah, I think he'll go too. Rob was saying he thinks Lingard will go. I think he will too. I just think it's time for him to go. The thing I see about Lingard is 29. He's never been a first team regular ever. Besides, let's say 6 months at West Ham. Like even when he's always been a bit part player. Go somewhere, man, and play 3, 4, whatever, 5 years of your career as a first teamer. Like I remember Darren Fletcher did it. Went to West Brom and that, and he played. He was their captain and that for like years after he left United. Go be a first team player. There's nothing better than playing continuous football. It's no shame that maybe you weren't good enough to make it for United, City, whatever. Go play for a team that's fighting, just under them and be. You could make yourself a hero for one of them. Like I don't get why he doesn't want to go. It's just showing that it's all about money. He wants that paycheck at the end of the year, which is a bit, you know, sad on his behalf. But they should be playing for the love of the game, not for this big contract. They're already rich. I don't. I, that's why it doesn't sit with me. I mean, they already got so much money. So Rob says Newcastle will be buying to the last minute. Yeah, I think they will. I think they will. Just don't know what they're going to be going for. I mean, do they come back in for Lingard? I mean, that's the sort of player if I was Newcastle, I'll be going for because I want to stay up and he knows the Premier League. I'll be going for those type of players. Trying to think what else they'd go for. That way, they could have, excuse me, Chris Wood or Callum Wilson up front, Saint Maximin on one wing, Lingard on the other wing. It's not a bad forward line. They got Almiron. They brought in Trippier. It's not a bad little, team if they're managed correctly. I think they could survive. I definitely think they could survive. So, be interesting to see what they do. I don't think City will do anything else besides that Alvarez that they did. I don't see Liverpool doing anything. Don't see Chelsea doing anything except maybe letting some players go. They might let Sal go. He's like Van de Beek. He came into Chelsea and pretty much for no reason. So they might let him go. Um, Everton may do something. Like I said, they got Lampard. They might try some last minute deals just because I mean they're really in a relegation scrap, aren't they? You don't expect it, but they are. Um, they're in a relegation scrap, and I mean it'd be sad to see Everton go down. I don't think they're the only team that hasn't been relegated. It'd be sad to see them go down. Alias says Ruben Amorim took Sporting from mid-table to win the league after 19 years, and still Ruben Amorim has not gone below 74% win rate. He's very taken manager, plays 3-4-3, 74% win rate. I tell you what, that's fair effort. I think that's what Bruno Lage did. He come from Benfica to Wolves, and look how good Wolves are doing. So, but then again, Wolves and Man United complete different kettle of fish. There you go, Rob. That's just what I was saying, wasn't it? I was saying should go there, and that's the player I would target. So Robert said Lingard agreed terms with Newcastle. That's who I'd target. I mean, if I was uh them, yeah, I'd be going straight for him. And there you go. Shows It's a good thing that he's gone there because I think, like you said, you can make yourself a hero. He's got Newcastle to survive, be the start of their dynasty, let's say. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to get paid well, isn't he? Like, the way it is with Newcastle now, anyone comes in, you can, if they're offering you 100, you're pretty much asking for 50 on top, aren't you? Like, so if you want me, give me this. Alias says Van de Beek should stay if Pogba believes he is a better player. I think Pogba's going to go. So if Van de Beek goes, he has gone. So if he does a good job at Everton, there's no harm in him coming back. But is it going to be poisoned for him now? Is he going to turn around even when he comes back and say, "Well, I don't want to come back. Like I don't want, um, the way you treated me, so to speak. I don't want nothing to do with your club anymore." Like, I don't know. But hopefully he doesn't come back like that. And um, it's a good thing. Alia, how you doing, man? Not not that we know at the moment, but Rob has said we were just talking about. I think Lingard is agreed terms with Newcastle. Henderson, they reckon, could be on the out. There's been some offers for Dele Alli to go to Milan. Rob was saying there's a lot of talk about, from what we know, Dembele to United, but I doubt it's going to happen. I think it's just paper talk. But I'm not sure. I think that, yeah, it could just be paper talk, the Dembele thing. But you know what? I wouldn't actually mind they go for him, considering all this stuff with Greenwood, because I think we're short. We're a bit short up top now. And the only problem I see with Van der Beek going now is, let's say Matic gets injured, and then let's say Fred or McTominay gets injured. Who are we going to play? We're going to be so short in midfield. It's not funny. Like we are. I mean, Champions League's coming up. Like who going the other week, they were saying United's bench is so strong. Look, they brought on all these players in the last minute to beat West Ham. You know, what a bench. And then now it just looks bad. Bissouma hunted by United. They've been talking about that a long time, Rob. And again, I don't know if that's just paper talk, but, are they just putting it in to up the interest in him? I'm not sure. Yeah, they are nice departures. We do need a midfielder. Ramsey to Wolves. Is that Ramsey as in Ramsey, like Aaron Ramsey, Rob? Not the Ramsey from Villa, but the Ramsey from Villa too. He's a gun, that young player. So moderators are not doing their job, are they? Better get in there. Is that all the same user? I think it is. Hey, look at that. Moderators. I love the moderators. Love it. Yeah, so yeah, not listen, I wouldn't mind they go for Dembele. Um, because like I said, all this stuff with Mason, so at least Eddie Howe's getting respect and money he deserves. He's a very good manager, but was in a wrong team. Newcastle will give him time and fun to build his team. Listen, the thing with Eddie Howe is, I agree. I do actually agree he's a good manager. He showed a lot. Um, he showed a lot as a Bournemouth manager. Getting a team from the fourth tier, I think it was, to the Premier League and staying up there for however long he did is a great achievement. Like the thing is with Newcastle, the minute they don't think, or let's say he gets them up and the next year he gets them to wherever, gets them seventh or sixth or something, right? They're going to do what City did back in the day, like with Keegan and Hughes. They're going to sack them and go for the big name manager. So I see Eddie Howe being there maybe a year, 2 years tops. Even if he does well, he's going to get the sack because they're going to go for bigger fish, which is it's unfortunate to say, but that's just what they're going to do. Rob says a no away goal rule for the. Is that been confirmed, Rob? That's a great rule. Love that rule. If that's true. Aaron Ramsey from Juve. Hey, good signing for Wolves, I think. I'd take him at United. We need a midfielder like that. United should avoid Basuma. He has discipline problem, and United don't need more media attention for wrong reasons. I don't know about his discipline problems, Alias, but if that's true, that's very good point. If true, good point. Because they're already in the mud with all this stuff at the moment, aren't they? So let's it's true. It's very true. So yeah, I'm not. Other than that, Ali, I don't know, man. Like there has been a lot of talk about Basuma for a while. Like I said, could be paper talk. Same with Dembele, could be paper talk. But there hasn't really been interest for United for anyone else, has there? Like there should have been interest in so many players, and there's been none. Like usually United are linked to everyone. We've been linked to no one. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But if you could pick a player you want to come in for United right now, who would it be? Like I would take a midfielder, Camara, Basuma, what it's just someone that can come into the midfield and do a job for us because we're really struggling in that department. And like I said, I would actually take Dembele right now because all this stuff that's going on, I think we are going to need another forward. I think we're a bit low in that department. So is that true, Rob? Phil Jones to Bordeaux? Really? Is that on loan, Rob, or did they buy him? Crazy. There was talk about some teams coming in for him. I was reading that. So I'll read a couple of the news, the ones we got, guys. So Man United to make deadline day swoop for Barcelona's Dembele, they're saying, which, like I said, I'm just reading the news. I'm not saying it's fact. Um, and this is just now. Henderson apparently is going to go, like they're saying. Uh, Isaac not expecting a transfer. Sorry, John. Isaac not expecting a transfer. Target arrives. Matt Target has arrived in Newcastle and is ready to undergo a medical ahead of finalising a 6-month loan. Really? Matt Target from Aston Villa. I didn't think they'd let him go. He's a first team player for them, but Arsenal expected to move for De Thomas. Raul De Thomas is on Arsenal's radar as they prepare to offload Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to Barca. I don't know. Has Aubameyang been doing good? Did he do good in the AFCON? I'm not too sure. Tottenham and Newcastle considering Carrasco bids. Valencia joined the Delhi race. There you go. Kulusevski completes Spurs medical. And they're saying Dembele not joining PSG, so they're opening the door for Man United, which, there you go. So there's a few things happening in there. So yeah, they're saying Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has agreed a deal to join Barcelona according to Sport. I don't know how much you put into the Sport, but Dembele must exit the Catalans to enable the move to be completed. So tell you what, if they're pushing for him to go, like I said, I'll take him. Real Madrid have opted against a January move for Monaco's Chouamini. I think that's how you pronounce Chouamini, his name, Aurelien Chouamini. But I think Alias was saying he really likes him. So Portuguese midfielder Renato Sanchez has opted against a 25 million euro move from Lille to Milan. What's happened to Renato Sanchez, man? I don't know, Rob. He was a Golden Boy winner. Like they were saying he was going to be amazing, and like don't hear much about him now, do you? Newcastle, they're saying going to go for. They've finalised Matt Target. They're going to go in for Eddie Nketiah as well from Arsenal. And Newcastle are going for Dean Henderson. So they're going hard, aren't they, Newcastle? So let's see what else we got. Apparently Barca interested in Di Maria. Isaac to Arsenal. I hope not. Sorry, Jones said no. Aubameyang did not play well at AFCON. Morata needs a club. What, Alvaro Morata's looking for a club too? Really? There you go. So again, with the whole any deals Barcelona are trying to do, they're saying it hinges on Dembele leaving because obviously they don't have any money. So, you know, Barcelona are not considering Mario Icardi, so which a lot of clubs don't consider him, do they? Oh, you know which one is a real big news? None of us talked about, guys. Brentford, obviously, Frank is Danish. They have announced Christian. Yeah, there you go. Rob's saying it right there. They announced Christian Eriksen. I was gonna say that's real good for him. Like I remember watching in the Euros, and that was, oh man, that was horrific to watch. That when that happened to that poor guy, and the fact that he's back playing and a club are taking him because he's Christian Eriksen's actually a really good player. You know what I mean? He actually is a very good player. So I hope he really does well there, and I hope his health is fine. Obviously, they not wouldn't give him the go ahead to play if they didn't think he could do it. But yeah, my all the best for him. I really hope he does well. So other than that, I think we've touched on everything that we can read so far. Hmm. They're saying Bordeaux tipped for a final attempt at Phil Jones. So he did say no, Rob's right, but they're saying that they could come back in for him. I don't know uh, what that's meaning for him, but yeah. So I don't know, guys. I think we've pretty much touched on everything. If there's anything anyone else wants to add, you know, please please add it now. It's was great. Everyone in the chat, Rob, Alias, uh, Alan, thanks for showing up. Who else was there? There was so many in there. Johnny G, Ghost Judy, everyone coming in saying hello was real good. It was great to see everyone there. And yeah, like I said, I think we've touched on everything. If there's anything like anyone else wants to add, do it now or stay on for another minute or so. If not, it's uh it's been a real good show, guys, and it was we'll be back on pretty sure on Wednesday. HFD will be back with a gaming show on Wednesday. And then Thursday night we'll be back. The podcast with the normal HFD podcast will be a late night podcast. It won't start till our time, 9 p.m. because of various reasons. We're going to start late, but that's 9 o'clock's not too late. But yeah, we're going to start at 9. And yeah, then we go again the next week. The United show will be back on Monday again next week. But and Johnny will be back next week because he's not at work. Um, he's not at work next Monday. So yeah, thanks everyone for coming into the chat. It was so good, Rob. Thanks again. Like I said to everyone, Ghost Judy, Alias, everyone that came in. If you're still there watching and you haven't, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one, guys. Thank you.